way Farkyo Kanatsu finds the upper hand. It's, I mean, I don't want to say over, because that's a bad word to use early game, but I've seen
Wow.
Darius's with 10
Have you
kills.
seen the summoners as well? Kanatsu is not running TP this game. This is Ignite Aatrox against Ghost Darius. So very lane focused here. Now, this matchup in top side, it has very differing power spikes to what you'd expect from any other Darius lane, because Aatrox is such a potent level 9 champion. So combining that with some early CDR, we're going to see this lane swing in favor from Rayfarki. You will probably have the priority after level 2, level 3, straight back into Kanatsu around that level 9 mark, but he's really got to be careful around level 6 Darius, because level 6 Darius with Ghost, if your wave state is not appropriate for Ghost Darius, if your lane is slightly too far pushed forwards, he will ghost at you. Even if you burn that ultimate, you're going to be run down and you will die.
Yeah, and curiously enough, Yuhi opting for the ghost instead of the cleanse. I mean, it is an alternative choice that AD carries can make. Instead of trying to get rid of the crowd control, he just says, "Nah, I'm gonna try and run away from it."
I'm actually a really big fan of Ghost Star, as Rayfuck is just getting a little bit of cheese here. Love that he went bone plating for this kind of a trade here. So this is a pretty signature Darius trade where you get that passive kick in as early as possible. And then this also, what this does is it pulls all the creep towards you as well. So this sets him up for that wave 2 bounce back if he so wishes.
Yeah, nice little trade there. Blitzcrank thinking that Burning Core have a slight edge to win this game, and I mean, their comp definitely looks more dangerous, definitely like it way more than game 1. And something to add as well that we haven't really mentioned in draft is the fact that Hecarim provides a lot of disruption in a comp where it's absolutely crucial that Hogs go in at once.
Yeah, and remember, Hecarim also doesn't have to be the initiator. We talked about that in draft briefly, but look at the multitude of tools that Hecarim can play through, that Rayfarki can play through. They can throw out that Moonlight Vigil with Gravitum enabled. They can throw out the Solar Flare, and if it's not good enough, they can choose to not take in that fight and continue to play actually what the remainder of the comp is, which is a pretty good walk back comp. Remember, they have the Ari for some very extreme disengage, and even with Hawks' very blatant attempts to minimize that with the depth charge, with that Vi ultimate as well, still exists. And if Hawks aren't complete on their what's the word, their deep diving, then in turn they can also be picked apart, and that could lead into a gold lead or kills given over to Burning Core.
Now both Flawless and Blank will be pathing towards the top side.
God,
Kanatsu stuck in between the towers. Rayfarki gonna pull him in. Immediate teleport coming in from Dasher. Kanatsu still staying alive. First blood gonna go to a Burning Core, but immediately traded back. And here comes Dasher with the Ring of Frost. And Flawless, I think he isn't running too far away, though. The Ghost is getting him a lot of moves speed. I have spoken way too soon. He is just running the hell out of there.
And because of that Ignite coming out from Kanatsu, look at the wave that he loses. Now, it has to be noted that Blank actually just barely, by a sliver, a 0.1 of a second, managed to pick up first blood there. So, marginally more gold. He also gets to pick up the majority of that wave as well. So it's a bit of an exchange there. But I mean, look at the itemization already. A whole sword up for Rayfarki. And this is really off that crash. This all stems from that trading that Rayfarki set up in wave 1, where he pulled the wave so that it would slow push into Kanatsu's tower. And Kanatsu, through that dive, playing that out so well. That knockup was key to disrupting Flawless and slowing it down long enough that Dasher could TP in, that Blank could get in position to find that return kill. If he hadn't landed that Q, first blood would have been over on the other side, and Rayfarki might have even been able to get out.
Yeah, and sorry, let's do a restart in that sentence. Basically, what you said with Rayfarki setting up the way from the level 1 into this dive, it's kind of what we should be hoping to see from him, as you know, a resident Darius player in the LJL, showing off the mastery of the champion. And yeah, I think as of now, no less should be said of his performance.
This is something we tackled in the start of today's segment. Was Rayfarki's had the opportunity to pick this Darius before in their games against Hawks and has opted away from it. The reason why it's being picked now is because not only is it still a comfort Rayfarki even now, on top of that, it's playoffs now. We're looking for those signature picks that you've been holding off from using, keeping knowledge away from in Split, to come in and be the resurgence that you need. And we saw that kind of game plan come out from game 1 too. It's the same in Dice in game 1, where he got put on that Yone, something we hadn't seen from him all Split. This time, Burning Core are reassessing and going, hey, well, Dice wasn't the playthrough this time. Let's turn him into the facilitator, and let's see if we can play through Rayfarki.
Yeah, and we will see if there's any more success. Already you can see the goal lead swinging the way of Burning Core. So that is a minor difference for now. But of course, as we go later and later into this game, it might become more important. Top lane itemization, early executioners calling. I mean, obviously both these top laners will be playing fully for the lane, and this means that the small advantage that Wayfarky has is gonna start accumulating.
Indeed. And yeah, I said it on the reset there. Because Ray Farkey managed to get the wave pulled underneath, even though he got an assist, he was already sword up, and now he's a full healing reduction item up on Kanatsu with the waves slow pushing into him. So Kanatsu has no opportunity to reset here, and they're already trying to punish it. Level 6 available though.
He does have the access to the world, and they're gonna pop it there. Flash still available for Kunat, so let's see maybe if he can get some good damage in. But that is the 5 stacks. Noxian Guillotine, and Ray Farkey with a kill. Kanatsu 0-2 down.
Yeah, and you can see Blank looking for something in return, but Flawless has been on point with his clears, and it means he's going to immediately... There's nothing else for Blank to take. Maybe could have looked for that red buff there with the priority from bot side, but nonetheless just opts in for that reset instead. And Burning Core, concrete lead within the first 7 minutes of the game as we get the replay here. And it's really important to note is that Ray Farkey has to play this kill so carefully because he's level 5. With this wave slow pushing in, Kanatsu has the priority on that level 6, and he actually hits it as the gank is coming in. This burning here from the minions is so important because he hits level 6 on this next creep dying, which is so, look at that, so smart to make sure he gets the AoE on the creeps. He hits level 6 off of that. Big plays.
Perfectly timed, and this is what we wanted to see from Burning Core. Early game, playing through top lane. We've got Flawless and Ray Farkey with 100% kill participation, and the rest of the map, they're just farming, they're scaling, and they are matching. No, real lead to speak of anywhere, but you don't need to be finding leads on Dice and Yuki in this case.
The scary part is now, of course, is that Hawks is really hitting their stride at this point in time. Dash is now level 7. Blank has that ultimate available, and that combination, that roaming presence that can be on the map now, especially as Lissandra past level 7 really starts to get priority on these waves. It's going to give opportunities for Hawks to look for something in return, whether or not that's picking off Dice in this mid lane or looking towards these Heralds as they're doing right now.
They're definitely going to be looking for it, but Dice, good patience there, not burning any crucial cooldowns. Instead, Hawks going for the Herald. Makes sense. Reina roamed up, which actually opens up for a loser to maybe look for Marble here. Zenith Blade goes very wide.
A bit of a turn to neutral now as Kanatsu is actually getting traded very heavily in top side. Would have been scary position if one more stack went over. I think that's going to be a play going over to Ray Farkey as well. And geez, that lead in top lane is already staggering. 1 kill up, 24 CS, only 8 minutes into the game.
Flawless about to make it worse. That being said, Dasher has teleport again. Dice does not. So, should a play happen, Blank is already there to respond, and we should be expecting the Lissandra to come up. So, I like the idea behind what Flawless is doing.
He's available for Dasher.
Let's see how it's going to go. Kanatsu just using those chains. Forces the ultimate to come out of Flawless. This is, yeah, definitely heads down play from Burning Core.
Yeah, that's going to put them on a pretty big timer as Dice is now looking to play in topside jungle. I don't think he'll get much from this. And yeah, this is the big thing. Even with Hawks just showing face there, that's enough to burn that onslaught of shadows. Suddenly, Flawless is losing a lot of that pressure that he had around this top side. It's up to Ray Farkey to continue solo pressuring that. And with that, remember, Blank now level 6, cease and desist available, especially with Dasher should be having all of this priority on the wave states. And it becomes a bit scary for Ray Farkey to be playing this far up.
He's still going to be trying. There is good vision back up, at least in the neutral zone in the river. And yeah, so far, we don't see Hawks doing anything proactive just yet. Well, Reina is camping mid lane relentlessly, but Dice, he's just staying back. He does not care at all. Look, Reina walks in, nothing happens.
Anyway, this Wave in top actually going to bounce back towards Ray Farkey. So really smart here from Blank to hover, but he's waiting so long.
Ray Farkey is going to flash away, but the Assault Battery follows through, and the healing though! Ray Farkey, does he have a chance to win? No, he doesn't. The burn, not going to be enough, I believe, as that was a burst of healing. Oh! Man, that was way too close and it had any right.
Well, Flawless is here though.
He's gonna look for a return kill, but Blank is already safe in base Kanatsu though. That's a whole different story. He's gonna try and get some of the autos in, but it's nowhere near enough. 1-for-1 as Flawless makes it equal, but fighting in the ball, and Reiner is already dead.
Is that what I
Yuki
think it is?
taking the kill.
Burning Core finding leads on both sides of the map. Yuhi and Loser doing God's work at the moment, finding the kills into Marble Reiner. Not something we would have expected from this bot lane, but nonetheless very pivotal now as that Jinx had built himself up a little bit of a CS lead, and they're going to get the replay here on bot side and really get to see how they do this. And first thing to identify here is clearly Flood from Reiner combined with Yuhi being on fighting guns. Red and white means you do not fight, and I think Reiner learned that lesson just there.
Absolutely did, and it also highlights one of the dichotomies in the draft: the committal versus non-committal. Once you throw that hook out as Reiner,
you're there.
Yeah.
There
is no way out.
Really love that. As I can see Blank moving into mid lane. Big thing now is look at the vision now. Even with that kill found in bot side, that's double ultimates burnt. The red side vision is still really concrete around this bot side jungle, and that's all through Reiner's priority and playing around this mid lane here. Now, using this Herald mid doesn't get the full plates coming out, as I don't think Dash is in any trouble here at the moment.
Yeah.
That Herald is almost a guaranteed play into second Herald for Hawks. It really clearly aligns their goals that they want to get that second Herald picked up as well, with Reiner, Blank, and Dash are all looking towards that in the next couple of minutes.
Flawless playing very much forward. Dasher, though, looking to go over the wall. There's the onslaught of shadows, and that is Dasher dead. With Flawless kill. Blank takes a blast going over the wall, but Burning Core, 5th kill of the game. They are just ruling Hog's jungle.
A complete lack of respect shown to the CC combo that Burning Core have available. Dasher dashing forwards and not using that frozen tomb in time means, yep, another kill given over. Hawks are now looking for the return onto Loser. He's a bit caught out setting up vision. I think this kill's going to be given over, and this might lead straight into that dragon. Oh!
He gets out the Solar Flare Flash combo, and together with Yuki backing him up with that Moonlight Vigil Gravitum, it's just disaster after disaster for Hawks, and Kanatsu is about to get dove. I don't know if he has much hope there. He's got the flash, but why burn it? Because Brave Arky kills him anyways.
And I mean, the damage coming out from Flawless now is so high. You can see both junglers immediately opted in for that chainsword, and this has been the kind of the replacement for Death's Dance's one of these early itemizations. It kind of functions very similarly to when you build the penetration, some of the penetration items to get a really early spike. Chain Punk just gives you a load of CDR in combination with Lucidity Boots. You can see Flawless is pumping out copious amounts of damage because he just always has his spells up.
Yeah. And this is a complete turnaround now we've seen from Burning Core. Maybe the comp doesn't scream early game as much, but they sure are playing it well. 3,000 gold lead by 14 minutes. It's a good start.
Yeah, and it's exactly what we wanted from them. We said after game one, Burning Core, tighten those screws, get your game together, really have like a, because with the game one comp, I was a big fan of. I enjoyed every part of that competition. It was very early game orientated, which when you play to properly, the only real question mark, of course, was the Nyla, which didn't end up working super in favor. Now that Yuhi's on comfort, this has given them the opportunity to play every side of the map in turn, whilst Flawless has put a lot of pressure on top side. Remember, Marble and the rest of Hawks opting in for this Jinx, this vulnerable AD carry in the early game, and Burning Core have taken best advantage of that by finding this kill. And you can see there, even though the AD carries are net gold even at the moment, Yuhi and this lane from Hawks we thought maybe would struggle into, but in return now, I mean, look at the gold on the rest of the side of the map in tandem. Burning Core are leading.
Its advantages as far as the eye can see in the jungle and top lane, and they are huge. I mean, I remember when you talked about the matchup of Aatrox versus Darius, you said level 9 is roughly where Kanatsu, maybe starts to come back. Yeah, not gonna happen this game.
Not anymore. Yeah, there is a sizable gold in top side, especially with that turret being taken as well. Now, as soon as these tier 1s start getting knocked down, the opportunity for Hawks to develop, and I say develop their own vision, but really reduce the vision from Burning Core becomes oh so potent, because this is when pick comps really come alive, especially when that mid lane tier 1 gets unlocked, and we can see that goal already aligning for Blank as he dropped that Herald in just 5 minutes ago. They're looking for this mid lane tier 1 so they can start playing into vision pockets like Blank is doing now and waiting for oversets from Burning Core, just like they did in game 1, to try and find a little bit of that gold and put it back in their pockets.
Yeah, and when it comes to the crowd control, Hawks aren't lacking it. They do have it for days, and we've got the Mythic on Marble and Dasher, so, you know, in terms of damage, you can argue there. So should someone from Burning Core make a mistake, there is still room for Hawks to come back. But I feel like this game, well, Burning Core are the team in the driver's seat. I don't feel like Hawks will be allowed to do anything unless Burning Core will it to happen.
I like that. That's really cool, actually. Now we get to see kind of these teams stagnate a little bit because both teams generally struggle in the current positions that they're in, with this mid tier 1 being open for both sides. Suddenly AD carries get shoved into mid lane, both mid lanes get shoved into side lane, and it's really just waiting for one team to make a major mistake in terms of positioning. But Burning Core haven't found this gold lead, have done an exceptional job at pushing this vision line as much as possible in the spot side jungle to really have a general idea of where every member of Hawks is at this time, and getting that second Herald as well with this mid lane turret being half HP. They're looking for another pick.
Dasher gonna go golden. He's got the ult. He's got the flash. He's going to go into that frozen tomb there, flawless. Losing a lot of HP. Rhina on the front side is going to still keep going. And Yuki on the flank now. He's got the red-white guns. He's in the thick of things, but he's getting chain CC'd over the wall. He goes with the flash. Blank will be able to take him down. This fight is all over the place.
Disaster.
Looking for the resets. Ray Farkey, though, he is getting low. I think he is going to go down. Teleport away. As Burning Core have overstayed their welcome. 3 of them are dead already, and I don't think Ray Farkey's getting out. He's going to try and go for the execute, but it's Marble getting the kill.
Wow. Out of the hands of Burning Core, Hawks find 4 kills. Incredible to punish that overstep from Burning Core, and now they get to set their eyes on the next objective, which will be this dragon. We're going to get the replay here. The big thing to be noting as we're watching this whole thing unfold is that Herald and mid side. I think Burning Core, by using this, they were in tandem looking for Hawks to overstep, but it's just over eager onto they're making this pick onto the one champion that currently has 2 forms of intangibility. This gives Hawks the time to really, group up and make for this return play here, and stacking their damage onto Flawless. I think having this ignite, that last tick, kill Flawless, was really the facilitation for them to find a successful fight here.
And then, I mean, it just goes all over the place. But Yuhi wasn't able to find a safe spot to DPS from, and Ray Farkey, it took him a while to get to the 5 stacks and find the execution. So the Darius resets weren't a factor, and Hawks, it's big gold swing, but they're still behind.
Yeah, it's both teams playing to the edge there, playing right to the edge of effective combat, and Yuhi literally 1 auto off killing off Kanatu. It really shows how Dash is looking for more.
Yeah, and the ground control is nasty, but there comes the re-engage, and Flawless goes through the whole entirety of Hawks. Dasher will be taken down by Dice finally. 2 for 1 at the end of the day with a double kill going the way of Jinx.
Just number advantage, playing out so much in the favor of Hawks there. 4 members versus 3, because remember, Ray Farkey wasn't there in topside. He wasn't there to start the fight as well. That leads to 2 kills. That's top lane tier 1 being picked up by Hawks as well. And this gold lead has been completely neutralized by Hawks. And look at the timer. It's right on that 15-20 minute mark. The pigeonhole of Burning Core's weakness, which we identified in desk before game 1 and when we were doing drafts, is Burning Core have really strong lanes. Then they start grouping and they start struggling. And look at that. You can see that reversal here as Marble, through 2 successful fights now, is highest gold lead in the game on the Jinx.
And this is what scares me, because, we knew 15-20 minutes was going to be bad. Maybe Burning Core would lose a bit of a lead. But the Marble is the strongest person coming out into the post 20-minute game. He's playing 2 items.
Yes, exactly.
Not allow that.
Exactly. And now, Rapid Fire being built looks like it's going to be a Last Whisper. Last Whisper, right? Yeah. But being built into that Lord Dom's 3rd, so very focused on killing Ray Farkey and Flawless and Loser first. As Burning Core trying to start for this, even with the unsuccessful fights they found before. Remember, they still have all these non-facilitative, almost pseudo engage tools that they can use to start a fight here. That's solar flare. Remember, gravitum is currently online, which means that they have that moonlight vigil as well to start these fights. And it's so scary suddenly for Hawks to contest this Drake, because they know that all of these tools could spell disaster if they're used in turn.
Talking about the dragon, though, that is going to be the second one of the game on 21 minutes.
21 minutes, man.
Ocean Rift, I think I called in the
Once again,
side there.
It doesn't feel like Soul's really going to have an impact this game. Something's telling me, Kashka, that we're not going to be seeing Soul this game.
Yeah, probably. I mean, honestly, it will be a banger if we do, because it's at least 15 minutes, and we've got hyper scaling AD carries. But either way, the gold lead is in favor of Hawks. Burning Core took the Dragon. What are we looking at in terms of the map state? Let's, take a breather. How do we expect these teams to play the map in the next 5 to 10 minutes?
Well, especially as this mid lane tier 1's being unlocked now for Hawks, really. And actually, it's quite cool, because we talked about it briefly, that as soon as these turrets get unlocked for Hawks, really their comp goals kind of align, because they start to get to play within their own vision pockets. And that's going to result even more so now when they try to siege up this mid lane tier 1. They are weak when they're playing within lanes, because this gives Burning Core the opportunity to fish for those engages that could result in a successful fight. As soon as Hawks retreat, and then suddenly you're having to push forward as a Hecarim, as a Leona by yourself into the myriad of pick tools from Hawks, it becomes so much more difficult.
Yeah, that being said, Burning Core keeping their mid tier 1 alive, and now they get to move into this topside jungle, sweep out all the vision, and the roles kind of reverse. And the crucial difference when you have committal versus non-committal engage is, if you have non-committal engage, you get to stay in the enemy jungle for longer.
Absolutely. And something I'm loving from Hawks' side of itemization is we've seen, looks like it's going to be a Lord Dominic's third for Marble, and that Void Staff second has come in for Dasher. Now, the default for Lysandras is always building into this Sonya's. Gives you double invulnerability in some of these fights, which could be really pivotal, especially considering we saw how impactful it was in the first fight the Hawks were able to take successfully. But building into this Void Staff gives, as well as Marble also itemizing into this percentage penetration, gives them the opportunity to not only use their pick tools to look for Yuhi and Dice, who we see as a default for target selection, but also to look for Flawless and Loser, especially if they're also trying to set up vision, if they're trying to fish for these engagers that we know that Burning Core want.
Right, especially that this is no longer the era of aftershock support. So Leona, not insanely tanky, of course, still with the Eclipse going to be a chunky target, but Loser going in might just spell disaster. LDR finished. Here.
Flawless is looking for this flangle. Probably not going to be able to find it though.
Yeah, Hawks playing very defensively. They're going to walk in, clear the ward out. It's it's pick games. You walk in, you drop down a control word, and then you see if anyone's going to pass by. And both teams are very much aware of it, how they're playing.
I'm having flashbacks to game 1, Kashka, where both teams it's the ebb and flow of vision, I like to call it, where both teams, they get their pressure, they go clear vision, they go put down their own vision, and then, Hawks, they're groups now, so then they go and they clear their vision, and they put their own vision down, and both teams fishing for that big punish, that first initial pick, which will lead into a successful fight for them, because they know what targets they want to be choosing in these little plays for vision.
Talking about the ebb and flow, it's Burning Core's turn to walk into the jungle. It really works like clockwork, this game. They're going to drop down their vision. The Baron is, of course, always the looming thing in the back of our minds. We saw Hawks sneak in last game. Burning Core, they've got full vision control over this side of jungle. There's only one lonely control word in the top side river from Hawks, and I don't think it's particularly huge value.
And this is the danger of Hawks, because of this tier 1 still remaining, Burning Core have to play around it as well, but also Solar Flare comes out, it flubs.
It does find the slows, but where is the rest of the engaged Loser? Instead, he's going to do the first target. Flawless, he's just staying on the side, but he can't find the way in. And instead, Marble is finding the reset, forcing Ray Farkey out of the fight, and Flawless is dead. So is the tower. The fight's all the way for the Hawks as they get 4 kills. They're going to go for the Baron now as well, because why the hell not?
Oh, what a successful fight from Hawks now as they managed to split apart the engage opportunities from Burning Core, and that leads to that successful fight. That leads to the Baron. This tier 1 being unlocked as well. We have Dragon spawning in under 20 seconds, but I think Hawks are happy to get this exchange here. 4 kills over as we're going to pick up this replay. And whilst obviously Marble is the stand-up player here, he uses the ulti field to field the vision, manages to dodge out on the stun from the ulti as well, and as soon as he gets his reset, it's game over for Burning Core. But look at Blank here. He knows who's the disruptor who could turn around this fight. It's Flawless. So he immediately pops the cease and desist on him again. That slows down Flawless's plan to come in with that AoE engage, that onslaught shadows that could potentially be the turnaround to disrupt Hawk so that Burning Core can find that return. That completely puts a fork in their plans. They get to keep fighting. They get to win the fight, and that leads to this Baron. And the Drake as well.
There is a huge difference in how these teams play the fight, and that difference is cohesion, because Burning Core were all over the place. Loser doesn't connect with the engage. The rest of the team doesn't really know how to respond to that. Whereas Hawks, they're all on the same page. Blank knows exactly what he's doing. Dasher went to the backside and killed Yuhi. So it's starting to show that difference in... I mean, yeah, team cohesion is the word we've been running with all of today, as Dasher potentially cut out of position. The charm, though, no, is the frozen tomb, the turn around, the bait and switch, but Dasher getting dangerously low. Flawless is going to be taking out Marble alone in the backside, but he's going to cleanse away. He does have the reset, and it's 2 kills, make it 3rd as Marble takes the double kill, and it's a rundown from the Hawks. Only Ray left alive, and the full ace as well.
Is that the win? Is that the game? Only 27 minutes in, a clean ace coming out from Hawks off of the back of Dasher being picked off as well. You can just see the strength, the position that Marble's in for them to be able to turn around that kind of a fight. And that itemization was so key here. That Lord Dom's coming in clutch so that it doesn't matter who Marble's hitting. He's doing obscene amounts of damage. And yeah, with 3 seconds on Loser, 5 seconds on Flawless, I think Hawks can close up the game here.
All it took was one fight for Hawks to turn their fate around, as they're gonna put themselves on a match point with Marble carrying the team on his back.
Incredible. That